country boy. I get up before the rooster, put on my camo, load up my bow and my rifle and stock the ammo. I'm a bullet with the bullet, but I'm lethal with the arrow. Always down for the hunt, dove turkey and big bucks. Hit the woods and get fitted up. Mossy oak all across my fit, don't be surprised, we do this too. I be up before the sun with my 30 at 6. Hard body on, I ain't worried about the kick. Yeah, we do this too. Country boys, we live country.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of We Do This Too Outdoors podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Williamson. I've got a special guest today on, CEO, owner of Yea You Outdoors, Mr. Tony Robicheaux. How you doing, brother?
Doing awesome, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. So,
Good.
been following your stuff on Instagram for a little bit, man. Love what you're doing with the outdoors. Love what you're doing with your brand. So how'd you get introduced to the outdoors, brother?
Man, growing up in the South, I mean, it's all we know. So our lifestyle revolves around food, drinking, unfortunately, which 15 years old, I'm proud of that, and outdoors, man. I mean, just grew up, dad, uncles, small game hunting, rabbits, coon, squirrels, things like that. Just fell in love with it from a young age, man. Just been ate up with it ever since.
That's what's up, man. Congrats on being sober, man. Me myself, I went to AA as well. A few years back in about 2008, 2009. So I understand that journey.
It's awesome.
Congratulations on that, man. And
Same to you, brother.
appreciate it, man. I still have a little drink every now and then, on like Halloween, Christmas, stuff like that with the family, but it ain't nearly as bad as it used to be. That's for
I
sure.
hear that. I hear
Yeah,
that.
man. So yeah, you outdoors, man. I love what you're doing with that, man. I see you do a lot of like gator hunting stuff that I want to do, man. Where
Man, like
exactly in Louisiana are you?
I am in Cecilia, Louisiana. Not many people know it. We're probably 20 minutes outside of Lafayette, kind of in between Lafayette and Baton Rouge, the
Okay,
Chafalaya Basin.
gotcha.
Majority of the gator hunting's done in Henderson, in the Chafalaya Basin. Man, it's a great time, dude. Like I said, next September, load up the truck and come meet us, brother. We'll put
Dang,
you on.
I'm down, man. I was talking to Rick last time I talked to him. It was a while back, but I was like, man, I got to get down to Louisiana. I said, I need to hunt some gators, man, because man, I got hooked on that. I think everybody got hooked on it when Swamp People came out.
Yeah.
And man, I was watching, Troy and all his boys and all them guys on there. I said, man, I want to go do it. And my wife's like, you want to go hunt gators? I said, yeah. I said, that look fun.
Yeah, dude, it's a rush like you've never seen before, man. I mean, you're 2 feet away from a prehistoric animal that could eat you alive, bro. It's a pretty good time. It's a pretty good
That's,
time,
that's cool, man. So yeah, you outdoors, man. How'd that name come about, and what's next for y'all?
man. So yeah, you outdoors probably started in the restaurant business. I'm a chef by trade. I've ran restaurants and kitchens since I was, 18, 19 years old, and it was just something one of my partners would say. We'd be in the kitchen, we'd be cooking, something would come up good, and you'd be like, "Yeah, you," and we just started saying it, man. And we every time we'd hunt and we'd do something good or we'd catch a big fish, we'd holler, "Yeah, you!" And my cousin Joshua Mouton, who's also in here with me, we picked it up and we just started hollering it, and people just said, "Man, y'all should do something." I'm like, "Man, I would like to." Been down that road. I've got a wife, kids. It's just not something I don't know we should get into right now because me and my wife been married 3 years. Want to start a family. We just had a little boy. He'll be 9 months old in a few days. And
Congrats, man. Congrats.
thank you, man. I've got my daughters, one 18, one 16, and a 9 month old. So kind of started from scratch, but man, I would I would give it up for the world, man. That kid's already trying to blow a duck call at 8 months old, dude. It's impressive. So we went to an outdoor show in Baton Rouge, the Delta Waterfowl Convention, and
Yeah,
my wife was walking around and she was like, she was ate up with it, and then she kind of pressured me into getting this thing going. So I was like, you gotta understand, if we do this, it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of hard work. And she said, no, I really think you should. And you've got the support of, we've got Joshua Mouton, Jalen Pinion, and Travis Babin all in the group with me. And he said, just get it done. So we started, and here we are. Yeah, you outdoors. And man, our goal for us is kind of like we were speaking about earlier, like the Cajun and Creole heritage. Not many people know what we do or what we're capable of. They've only ever seen swamp people,
Right.
and things like that. We're so much more than that. Yeah, we hunt gators, we hunt coons, small games, but I think here in Southwest Louisiana, we're doing this thing at a different level. With the food, and that's kind of what we want to focus on is, hunting and fishing, and then the food, getting our recipes out there, our Creole heritage out there, because you don't see a lot of it, and people need to know who we are because our culture is dying slowly but surely. I
Mm-hmm.
don't speak French, but we've got a huge Cajun Creole French following in the South, especially if you come down, you'll meet Jordan Thibodeau, a couple of those guys that they speak fluent Cajun French. And I mean, that's an art, man, and it's dying, and we need to bring that back, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like when I was watching Swamp People, when it first came on, everybody was kind of taken by storm by that, but I was looking at it in a different aspect. Um, I think it was maybe season 3 or 4. You didn't see anybody of color till about season 3 or 4, and I think it was a guy, and I think his 2 sons were on there, and then I think a little later in season 5 or season 6, there was another 2 guys on there with his sons. But like I said, man, like it's 9 down there, it's 9 here. I feel like, man,
Yeah.
and I feel like we need to get more people like you, more people like Rick, 24/7, Jim Caesar, man, all y'all boys in Louisiana, because there's a lot of heritage down there. It's more than just food down there. I mean, I love y'all's food down there. Don't get me wrong. Every time I come to New Orleans, I got I got to load
Oh,
up on.
I gotta stop you guys. 337 and 504. New Orleans can't compete with what we're doing out here in Lafayette. I'm gonna get a bunch of flag for it, but bring it. If you
My
want if
bad,
you want
dog.
real South Louisiana food, you come to the 337, brother.
Up to the 337. All
Yes,
right, my
yes,
bad,
sir.
my
Yes,
bad, my
sir.
my bad, dog.
It's
My
good
bad.
though. You're entitled to your own opinion. I'm just letting you know. You know.
I ain't never been. I don't think I've ever been to Lafayette, man. I can't say that. I've been to
Well,
Monroe. I've been to New Orleans, and I've been to Baton Rouge. I think it was the only 3 times I've been to. And I've been to Grambling. I've been down there.
yeah. But
But I wanted to.
you're getting closer. You're getting closer. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
So,
September in Louisiana is probably my favorite time of the year. Gator hunting and teal season.
oh yeah,
Come meet us in September next year, and we'll show you. We'll
I'm
show you what
down,
it's
man.
about.
Yeah, I run with about a 3 to 4 man crew most days. I got my cousin Kenny, my buddy Josh, and my buddy Lance usually rides with us some, so it'll be probably 4 of us to come down. If not, I'll be by myself, but we'll make it work.
The more the merrier, bro. We got room. I promise you.
That's what's up, man. How'd you get introduced to Rick?
I met Ricky some 10, 11 years ago at a wild game cookout at Family Life Church in Lafayette. It's a men's supper. They get a bunch of groups. They come in, they cook a bunch of wild game, and it's just fellowship and good time. And Ricky was working a booth with Blood Deep, and again, there wasn't many of us there. So
Mm-hmm.
started talking to him, and we hit it off, and I mean we've been real close ever since. Did some Blood Deep stuff with him. I actually went on a hunt for teal season with Jules Broussard and Conrad Lyons, two of the original members of Blood Deep. We all stay in touch, and so solid group of guys, man. We
That's
we
what's
just
up.
learn a lot from each other, man.
Yeah. Rick's a good dude, man. Shout out to him. 247 Hunt, man. They're good dudes, man. I went on their dove hunt a couple years back. I've been twice now. I didn't get to go this year, but first
Yeah.
time I met first time I met Rick, man, I felt like I'd known him for 20 years, man. He just down to earth brother and proud of what he's doing. I hope he keeps it up, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, Rick's one of those guys where I mean, if you know him, you know him. I mean, he's as solid as they come.
Yeah, Rick's that dude, man. And Jim Caesar too. Y'all think you're good friends? I seen something on Instagram,
Oh
but
yeah, me and Jim are tight. I was with Jim last weekend.
yeah,
We're actually planning a squirrel hunt. Hopefully, get to do it tomorrow. I'm not sure when, but met same path. Met Jim through Ricky all those years ago. We've still we've been close ever since. You know,
that's what's up.
Jim's doing some good stuff out there. I mean, his music is he's probably making some of the best music for our culture out there.
Yeah,
You know,
he stays in the rotation in my truck, man, in my
yeah,
pod. So I'd love to get him on the show. I sent him a message a while back, man, but I know he stays busy and probably didn't see it or whatever on Instagram. So, uh, like I said, I'd love to get him on here, man. But
I'll
all
give
in
him a
due
shot. I
time.
mean, he's like I say, like you said, he's busy, man. I will see him, but it's like he's just you see him for a few seconds and he's running. Always got a camera in his hand. You know,
Yeah,
it's busy dude.
yeah. I just love, his music for one, man, and the love he has for our Lord and Savior, man. He's putting that out there, along with his music, along with the culture, how he grew up, and he's putting that in his music, and I love it, man. And
Yeah,
putting
man.
that hunting with that.
Yeah, you have to because that again. That's just like the culture, man. It's a dying thing, and people are afraid to put that out there. You know that they love the Lord and this and that. You know, you can't be ashamed. Me personally, I listen to K Love. If
Hmm.
you in my truck, we listening. If we get up at 3 in the morning, we're gonna jam K Love from 3 till 10 o'clock. That's the cutoff. And
Yeah,
you know, it man, it relaxes you. It puts you in a better space for the day. It gets you ready. You know, so you just
I agree.
you got to give it up to him. You know.
Yeah, man. He's allowed us to do what we do, man. And as much as our people's been through the years, man, he's got us this far, and he's gonna keep going, man. So all we got to do is just keep giving him praise, man, and he'll do the rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So as an African American hunter, man, fisherman, outdoorsman down there, Louisiana, man. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he's a white guy, and he said, "Man, when I look on TV, I don't see a lot of African Americans or people of color on TV." He said, "I feel like they're missing a side of the outdoor industry that could really. It's a different side that we could show them." So, how do you think that we can break through to some of these bigger name brands and corporations about getting our name more out there?
I think we just have to be true to ourselves, man, and who we are. You know, you see a lot of people and you talk to a lot of people and they're trying to be somebody they're not just to be able to get on TV and do things like that. There's so much of that stuff that's already out there. Why not be yourself? Why not be who you are? What you know, you're not I'm not gonna make a hunting video better than any hunting video that's already out there. I need to be able to sell myself. People want to see you. They want to see your personality. They want to see that you're working hard. You know, because I mean, there's a million videos on the internet of people killing monster deer. I can go kill a monster deer tomorrow, and it'll go around for a few days, and then that'll be it. But my
Hmm.
personality, nobody's gonna match my personality. Nobody's gonna match your personality or what you're doing. You know what you bring. That I can hear your kids in the background. Nobody's gonna match that. You know, like you said, um, you know, your kids is the biggest thing you've ever done. Your greatest accomplishment. You know, mine too, and that's another reason I'm doing this for. You know, my youngest daughter likes to hunt. My oldest daughter, she could care less where her food comes from. You know, now the little boy, I mean, this is I want to leave a legacy for my son, for my daughters, and that's what this is, so that you know he could have doors open for him that I didn't have for me, that your kids didn't have for them, that my daughters didn't have, and that's what if we focus on family and put family first and do this for the right reasons, we're gonna be successful. Whether we get a major television deal or we get as big as 247 or not even. But as long as we put something out there that we can be proud of and our family can be proud of, I think we'd be successful.
I love it, man. Yeah, I got like I said, like I told you, man, my son is my greatest accomplishment, man. He's 7 years old and he's ate up with outdoors. He loves it, man. And he finally told me he was really ate up with it last year a little bit, but I get up real early. And by the time I'm up, he's still asleep. Try to wake him up. He's like, nah, daddy, I ain't going. But this year he's like, Daddy, how big of a deer am I gonna kill? And I said, well, I said, it all depends, buddy. I said, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes, you don't. I said, but you can't get frustrated when you're out there. I said, killing's not the only part of hunting. I said, it's all the memories leading up to it, all the preparation that you got to do. So he's like, well, Daddy, I'm ready. So I said, okay. I said, we've been out shooting his bow, getting him ready. But I want to leave a legacy to my son too, man. He's following daddy around everywhere. He wants to do everything his dad does, just like I wanted to do everything my dad did.
Yeah.
And my biggest goal for my brand, man, like I want to go into a lot of these inner cities, get some of these at risk people of color kids, man, and bust them into Kentucky, bust them in somewhere. It doesn't matter where. And just teach them how to hunt, teach them how to shoot a bow, teach them how to fish, teach them hunter safety, teach them something that can possibly save their life, keep them off the streets.
Yeah. So
That's my main goal.
you know John Anani,
I
Camp
don't.
Compass? Okay. He's a good friend of ours. We met him through Rick and Blood Deep. He's got a mentorship in New York up there. Um, you should get in touch with him. If that's what you're looking to do, he's the man to talk to.
Okay.
So I'll get you his contact information. That's if that's what you're looking to do, man. He's the man. He's an educator, 30 plus years, and that's what that's what he did. You know,
Yeah.
and man, just for your son, man, just like what I'm gonna teach my kids and what I teach my daughter, is just try to learn something new every time you walk out the house.
Hmm.
Whether it's at your job or especially hunting. I made a little squirrel hunt this morning, and the woods I normally hunt, they decided to go through with a bulldozer and just kind of tore it up. So I didn't know what I was walking into, and I killed a few, but I learned a lot. And tomorrow morning it's gonna be on. But just you gotta learn something every time you walk out the house, whether it's hunting, fishing, or just life. Just come back better. So
Right.
that's what I want. That's my goal to teach my son. That's gonna be the first lesson he learns about this. And at 7 years old, shoot the first deer that walks out, dude.
That's what
It
I
makes
told him.
it's just shoot it, bro.
That's what I told him. I said the first thing that walks out, man. I said just let's just pop him, and we'll teach you how to skin it. I said, I eat everything that I shoot, whether it's, teal, green wing, blue wing, mallard, goose, whatever, deer. Deer's probably my favorite. But I got a freezer full of stuff right now, man. I like to cook and eat them. My wife won't touch it. She hates wild game. She don't like the taste of it. And I was like, but my son loves it. So I was like, it's more for me and him. So
Yeah, my wife's the same way. She'll eat a little bit of it, but not too much. You know.
yeah, man. So the gator hunting, man, how's this gonna go? Like, is it like you see on TV, or is it completely different?
I guess it depends on what you're doing. I mean, line hunting, you set a bunch of lines and the gator swallow and you kind of pull, but man, I mean, you see those guys tugging and that's all for sure. If you gentle with a gator and it's on a hook and you pull it up slow, it'll come to the surface. Now, um, treble hooking and actually hunting them, that's a different story. That's fun. Where you'll see them, you follow the bubbles and you throw the hook over the bubbles.
Hmm.
That's where it's at. I mean, you're actually hunting. That's a game changer. Get
Gotcha.
pretty
So what do
get
y'all
get
what do y'all do the most of them? Treble hooks or y'all
well.
set lines out most?
Well, it depends. So my buddy Scott LeGrange has a business called Cajun Outfitters LLC, and he sells gator hunts, and we'll sell line hunts and trophy hunts. So it's probably a 70-30% mix of line and trophy hunts, But I mean, my favorite is the trophy hunts. But the thing about the line hunts, you never know what you're gonna get. You
Right.
might get a 5 foot gator. And we had some young ladies 3 weeks ago that she caught a 12 foot 7 inch gator on a line hunt.
Oh man.
That's a trophy. You know what I mean? That thing was huge, but that'll probably one of the biggest gators to come out of Henderson in a long time.
Yeah,
And
that's a big
that was just on a line.
that's a big that's a big gator, man. What's the biggest one you
Yeah,
ever
dude.
caught?
Biggest one we caught, we put in my boat last year on it was 12 foot 3.
12.3.
12-3. That was
Yeah.
actually my first time doing it. And the guy we took, he looked, how long you been doing this? And I put my head down. I didn't answer. I didn't want to say my first time, you know. So I didn't actually grow up gator hunting. It's just you meet people and they get to know you and because I didn't grow up hunting ducks and deer and things like that. I didn't probably kill my first duck till I was 25, 26 years old. Just wasn't something my dad did. Just and that's just from meeting people and kind of getting invited and you know shot that first wood duck and I've been messed up ever since.
I heard you. Yeah. So my dad, he grew up in a little cotton town outside of Memphis, Tennessee. So he grew up hunting like rabbits and squirrel, small game, dove, quail, stuff like that. So I had to teach myself pretty much how to deer hunt. So I grew up rabbit hunting, doing everything dad did. And I came home one day and I said, Dad, I want to start deer hunting. And he said, Well, you better find somebody because I don't know nothing about it. So I found a buddy of mine that lived in the same town that I was going to college. Shout out to Clay Kirby, man, because he taught me how to shoot a bow in about 20 minutes outside his house, and got hooked and killed my first buck with a bow, a little small buck, and I killed a doe first, then I killed that buck, man. Then I got hooked. Well, fast forward, I didn't kill my first duck till 3 years ago. It's back here on the wall, right here behind me. My first mallard,
All right,
my,
there you go.
my first one, and I had him mounted, man, but I think I've told this story 1,000 times, but I don't know if you've heard it or not, man. My my buddy Lance, he's from Western Kentucky here in Ballard County. It's right on the Mississippi Flyway. Um, it's where the Ohio River and the Mississippi River meet. And here in Kentucky, and he said, "Man, let's go duck hunting." I said, "Man, I ain't trying to hunt no ducks. It's too cold. I'm in water. I can't swim." So I got me some waders, and we're going through, hitting everything in this boat. I'm sitting in the middle of the boat because I'm scared to death. It's dark. I can't see nothing. He's like, "Hey, we getting out right here." I said, "What do you mean we getting out right here? This is water." He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna stand by this tree." I said, "We standing up hunting in the water?" I was like, "Man." So they put the decoys out. Once they cut their boat off of them lights, it's pitch black dark. And dude, I tell you, I'm scared to death. I was scared to death out there, man. Then finally the light came, them ducks started flying in, we started popping them. And from that moment on, when that first group came in, I said, I'm hooked. I said, sign me up. I was hooked after that, man. So I've been doing it ever since, man. Still learning a lot. I can't blow a duck call worth a damn still, but uh I got one here, like a custom made one a buddy made me, man. It's got my logo and stuff on it, but been playing around with this. I can blow a goose call a lot better. I can blow that duck call, but
Man, I tell you, and I'm not a big duck hunter. I'm ate up with deer and bow fishing is my thing. Deer hunting and bow fishing. If I can only do two things the rest of my life, deer hunt and bow fish.
that's what's
But
up.
uh, I just find, man, and I can't blow a duck call to save my life. I can blow it enough. But man, being where they want to be, being on the X's is half the battle, man. You know,
Hmm.
if you where they want to be, they coming. You don't have to be a
Right.
you don't have to be a great caller. And you got these people and all these competition calls and just man, just a lot of times just soft and easy wins the race.
That's right. Yeah, I never been bow fishing, man. That's on my list as well. Me and the crew, I think we're gonna end up getting a boat here in the next year or so and rigging it up, duck hunting and bow fishing. But I've never been, but it's definitely on the list, man.
Man, that again, if y'all want to take a trip, we set up, dude. We kill redfish like there's no tomorrow. I don't know that y'all can kill them, but like you can both fish redfish in the state of Louisiana, and we'll go out shoot 20, 30 fish a night.
Yeah, that sounds
Redfish,
like a ball.
sheephead, big garfish. It's a blast, dude. It's because you can relax, you can cut up, play music. You're constantly moving, so it's not hot. You don't have to worry about the bugs. It's just the 2.5 hour drive home is the hardest part.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, man, it's most fun you can have on the water legally.
Yeah, I hear you, man. You got any stories, any memorable hunts that you like to keep telling people, whether it's bow fishing, deer, duck, what you got?
Man, that's a I don't know. I guess like they're all memorable, man. I think my most memorable hunt was when my daughter killed her first deer. It was a spike. We get to the camp and I had her a little 300 blackout, had it in a vise, and this thing was just all over the place, and I was just couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. We just couldn't get this thing sighted in. So I've got a Browning 270 short mag, and my daughter's 16 right now, and she probably weighs 100 pounds. I mean, she was probably 10 years old, 50, 60 pounds, and I'm like, man, what are we gonna do? So I put her behind that 270, and she could barely get behind, and then she shot. She hit bullseye at 100 yards. I was like, oh, it's on now. We can we can see we gonna give them trouble. We gonna find out. And I got a little stand on the corner of the property, where the does come out pretty regularly, pretty good, couple of good bucks. But I knew she was gonna get an opportunity, so we in a single ladder stand, and I've got her sitting on my lap, and so we got dogs barking, running around out because there's a house right off the property, and I don't know what this man did to his wife, but she was not having it. She was not happy with him. She fought that man all afternoon, and I could see my daughter getting discouraged, and I was like, just don't worry, it's coming. It's gonna happen. I promise you. Because I mean, with the kids that young, man, it's you bring them fishing, the fish not biting, they get bored, they don't want to do it. So, and especially where we hunt, we don't see a whole bunch of deer. So you got to make those hunts count, especially when they're that small to keep them interested.
Right.
And sure enough, about 40 minutes, about 4:30, 5 o'clock, we had been in the stand for like 2 hours. Sure enough, doe comes out and she gets behind the gun. I'm like, whenever you're ready, and she shoots. And I mean, she just dropped this thing in its tracks. And we both went to screaming and crying in the stand, bro. It was the best feeling I've ever had as a hunter. Just because, again, without these kids, man, and what we doing is it's gonna die, and they've got so many distractions out there from TVs to telephones to computers to all this other stuff that it's hard keeping them active in the outdoors when they're so easily distracted with everything that's going on in the world. And just to
Sure.
to see that, and then she was hooked, and then the following year she said, I want to kill one with a bow. I said, okay, I'm gonna buy you a bow. You can draw 30 pounds because you have to 30 pounds legally, you can hunt. So gave her a crossbow. She took another buck with her crossbow, and then last year got her a bow, and she started shooting it, and we went out and we had two encounters. First encounter was my fault. The chair was too low, and I think the arrow came out and hit a branch, and she made a bad shot. and she hadn't gotten one with her boy yet, but she's still on it, dude. So that's a huge accomplishment for me and for her, especially raising two daughters, to have one that's that ate up with it.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's a heck of a story, man. That's it's always good, man, when your babies, go out and harvest something or do something like that. Like my son, it was a few years back, man. I had just bought him his crossbow before I bought him a compound, man, and we were out shooting in the yard, and had him set up at like 20 yards, man. And he's nailing his bullseye. Well, I moved him back to like 50, and I told him where to hit, where to set his scope, and he hit that 50 yards, and he jumped up. Daddy, I did it! I did it! I did it! And I was like, yeah, bud. I damn near brought tears to my eyes just to see how excited he was.
And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "I did it. Good job,
Yeah,
Dad."
yeah,
Yeah, man.
so make you feel good, man. That's for sure.
And that's the thing, man. And my youngest, Brienne, we've got a lab, Cruz, and she runs him, she works him, and it's just it, it makes you feel good to see it in action, bro. So your
Yeah,
hard work's paying off.
yeah. So
So,
y'all got a lab too, huh?
man, I have all kind of animals. I've got a Catahoula that tracks deer, a black lab when we duck hunt, and a mountain cur, blue tracks deer, and he started treeing squirrels this summer. So,
I was about to say you better get him out in them squirrel woods with you.
oh yeah, he started treeing squirrels. So I'm not a houndsman. I want to be so bad. That's the next step. Those dogs, working those dogs, man. I love watching a good dog work, especially tracking deer. I love being behind a good deer hound.
Yeah,
That's some of the most fun you can have in the woods. You're just putting smiles on people's faces when when you find that animal that they thought they had wounded or they thought they missed, man. It's a really good feeling.
yeah.
So
We got a chocolate lab. Um, he's older, but he'll go get a duck. He'll go get a dove, but he won't let go of it. He thinks it's a toy. And so we got six beagles that we take. They're all red ticks, or actually they're all blue ticks. We take them rabbit hunting with us, and then my cousin Kenny just got two labs that he's training. So we got some dogs. Hopefully we'll have two good dogs. Cause my dog Diesel, man, he's older. He's hard headed. He's hard to sit still in the woods. I was gonna have him as my mainly my duck dog and my bird dog, but my wife got a hold of him and turned him into a house dog, and it just it
that's
didn't
what
work.
hap-
It
that's
didn't.
that's what happened to Blue. That's
Yeah, it
what
didn't
happened
work out
to
too
Blue.
well.
The wife got a hold of him and just ruined him. Stinking
Yeah,
ruined him. But I would like to get a couple of beagles because we love rabbit hunting. But I don't know that I'd be allowed to come home because we've already got four dogs. If I came home with some more, she might put me out. But yeah, man, there's nothing like being behind a good pack of hounds, bro.
just keep them at somebody else's. That's what I do. I keep mine at my mom's house. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
might work. I have to talk Daddy into doing it.
yeah, we got some kennels for them, man. We go out there and clean them kennels about every day and feed them, and we'll get them out and run them when during the off season because rabbit season comes in. I think the first week of November here in Kentucky. I think
Man,
it's
is that
already
late?
in. Yeah, it's that late. Because I think it's already in everywhere else.
Yeah, we first Saturday in October in Louisiana, small game opens.
Yeah.
So like
So yeah,
today.
we gotta wait, and then it goes out. I think no November, the second week in November, because that's when gun season starts. So those 2 weeks that the gun season is in, you can't hunt rabbits until it goes back out. Because I guess they don't want people in the woods hunting rabbits with people with high powered rifles in the woods, which I don't blame them. Uh, but yeah, it comes in super late here because I got some buddies in Alabama's already down there hunting them already.
Yeah. I mean, they get worms in them this early in the season, so it's not really a good thing to hunt them until after that first hard freeze. But
Yeah,
but for us, we might not get a freeze till stinking January.
yeah, right. Yeah, oh, yeah,
So it's yeah. So it is what it is. But
Yeah,
just cut that word
usually
out.
by Halloween up here, we usually have at least one hard frost, and then after Halloween, man, it's on because usually it's getting cold or it's already cold, so
Yeah.
uh, we ain't got to worry about that.
So how many days a year you typically get to be out in the woods? I know you're a family man like the rest of us.
Man, so once like me personally, I don't really start getting in the woods until it starts getting cold. Like our early wood duck hunt, our early goose hunt, but then I really don't start getting in the deer woods until that first cold front hits, simply because the farm I hunt really doesn't start showing big deer until around October 31st, which is Halloween, right after that. Um, Now, if somebody else wants to go, I'll take them. Like my son, I'm about to take him probably in a week or so. But me personally, I usually don't get out till then because my farm, it's my farm that I grew up on. It's typically been traditionally an afternoon spot, when the deer are going back to bed. So that's when I like to hunt them out there. Mornings haven't traditionally been that good. So, but anytime I get a chance to get out there, man, which right now my son's playing football, so every Saturday, so it's hard for me to get out there. So I get out there usually during the week after work, man, and put my time in there and get my feeders right, make sure I got batters in my trail cameras and everything like that. But I try to build up brownie points in the off season, so when hunting season comes,
I know
I
that's right.
I, I can get away a little more, man. But family will always come first. With me, make sure my family's taken care of and everything, and then get out in the woods after that.
And
What about
for
you?
us, that's man a lot. So we've got property in Leesville, in Louisiana, and property in Mississippi. So we work year round, and it's you work hard all summer to be able to enjoy the winter time. So we're either in Leesville working or in Mississippi working, and then try to fish in between. But I'm 5 minutes from the basin, so we fish a lot. Um, but man, I'm trying to get after them every weekend if I can. I'm trying to hunt something. We start in September and we go through the end of February here. So with that place in Leesville, we get our rut's about to our rut's gonna start like next week in Leesville, and then back home where we're at, it's a later rut, so it's kind of in January, and then Mississippi's kind of in November. So
Yeah,
ourselves positioned to where we can hunt the rut almost all stinking long, all hunting season. Um, so we put a lot of time in. We put a lot of time in the woods. Luckily for us, the place we have in Mississippi, the camp is real nice, and the family can come. So they just tag along. So we just bring them with us. Now
yeah,
the place in Leesville, my wife and my little, they're not staying in that camper. So they ain't staying in that camper, but they'll come to Mississippi, especially with my daughters. We got Wi-Fi in Mississippi, so it's a lot easier
right,
to get them to come because they
yeah,
can do what they need to do.
yeah. They
But
gotta have that Wi-Fi,
you got
man.
you gotta have that Wi-Fi, bro, because they didn't come until we got Wi-Fi. It was like, nah, daddy, we not coming. But we get after it pretty hard, man. Looking forward to spending 10 days in Illinois again this year. Which is we hunting some public land up there. We hunted it last year. We didn't kill a whole bunch of bugs, but we found them. We got a pretty good lay of the land, so it should be good this year.
That's what's
Looking
up.
forward to
Yeah,
that.
my cousin, he just got he went to we got two draws here in Campbellsville, Kentucky, and then we got one to hunt Green River, which is right up the road from us, and then there's another one down to hunt Barren River. So we got drawn to hunt both those for duck hunting. So we got to go pretty much start next week, start getting our duck blinds and stuff set up for that. And then, like early season, we always hunt dove opening day. That's like our thing. And then, like I said, we'll hunt early goose, early wood duck, early teal. And then I'll wait for a little bit until that first front comes in, hunt deer. And then once deer season ends, man, I'm either hunting ducks or I'm hunting coyotes. Like we have a big coyote population here, and they're everywhere. And we own livestock, so we try to take care of many of them coyotes as we can.
Yeah,
Um, it's fun, and got
that's
some
something
buddies
I've
that got the
yeah,
thermal
that's something
stuff.
I've never done.
It's fun, man. Especially when you get on them, when you can call them to you. I don't have a thermal scope. I've got a night vision, but I got buddies that's got the night stuff, so I can sit there and watch on their phone what
Yeah.
they're looking at, whatever. It's pretty dope. But some of them setups that they got, they they get up there 6, 7 thousand, a little more,
Just for the scope.
just for
Yeah,
the scope. You
yeah.
know, I got a few guns I can put them on, man, but I cannot see myself spending that much money on no scope. Like I just can't do it.
No, I hear you. I've got a couple of buddies with some too, and I'm the same way. It's just, man, $6,000 school for bringing a dog home might be out the house, you know.
Right, exactly. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
man. A couple more questions, man. I ain't gonna keep you on here all day, man. But I do appreciate you taking the time out, man. I've been wanting to get you on for a little bit, man.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, man. So, hypothetical question, man. So you got a little kid, um, person of color that comes from an inner city. He's getting in a lot of trouble. Um, he's looking for a mentor, basically, to get into the outdoor world, but he's scared because every time he turns on the TV, he doesn't see anybody that looks like him, and everybody around him is telling him, he's going to fail. You know, this sport's not meant for us. What advice would you give him?
Man, first and foremost, man, if it's something you want to do, you got to get out there and do it. There's a ton of information out there. Um, I hunt year round. I would tell them do the same thing. You've got to do it year round. Um, Podcasts, YouTube videos. There's a lot of fluff out there, so there's a lot of podcasts you can listen to, and these guys are just kind of boosting their egos, and you don't get a lot of information. But if you know where to look, there's a lot of great information out there. Um, I would start with that, man. Like just study because unfortunately, it's it's and people might not want to hear it, but it's our people that keep us down more than anybody else. I get
I
flack
agree.
more from my people than anybody else, you know.
Yep,
And
me
it's just
too.
they don't. Oh, you think you white, you think you this, you think you that. And you can't listen to none of that. If you want to do it, you got to be better than everybody else. So you have to study. You got to do your homework. You got to get your boots dirty. You know, whether you have a gun in your hand or not, you got to get out there and surround yourself with people, like-minded people, but people that you think are better than you.
Hmm.
Because if you surround yourself with, if I want to hunt every day and I surround myself with people that want to drink every day, guess what? I'm not going hunting.
Right.
But if I surround myself with people that have the same goals or their goals or what I want my goals to be, they're gonna push me to do better. So, you know, man, just and people I find in this industry, people that not necessarily this industry, but people that hunt, they want to teach you how to hunt. They
They
want you to
do.
tag along.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you can't be afraid to approach somebody, even if you're at Walmart and just approach somebody in the hunting section, and you know people genuinely want to see you do well. And there's gonna be a handful of people that don't, but you're gonna find that person that wants to teach you. Like you, my parents, we never deer hunted. You know, I met a guy, Mike Kidder, working at a restaurant, and Mike was a good friend of mine. Mike passed away a few years ago, but man, this man took me under his wing. He was my manager. This man took me under his wing and put me on. I killed my first buck with him. It was an 8 point. That was a good story too. So we muzzle hunting with muzzle loader. So now you can hunt with a 35 whale and a 45-7 and straight wall, but an old school muzzle loader.
Mm-hmm.
So buck walks out and I shoot, just smoke fills the air, and I'm like, crap, my stinking missed this deer at 40 yards. How'd I do that? Sure enough, I missed it. So we get back, come back the next day, deer walks out, same deer, almost in the exact same place. I shoot again. All you could see was smoke. Didn't know what happened, but I heard him crash. And I can promise you, as excited as I was when my daughter killed her first deer, that man and that group of hunters I was with, it was all white guys, was just excited for me that I killed that little 8 point as I was for my daughter when she killed her buck.
Right.
And and people genuinely want to see you do well. Um, just hang out, Walmart, sporting goods stores, online. You know, you reached out to me. I couldn't tell you how many people I've reached out to and made a lasting friendship. When we first
Right.
got our lease in Leesville, I reached out to a guy named Randy Pollard because he was from there, and I saw he was killing deer there. Me and Randy's been best friends for 8 years. Little red man. You look at this man and you'd never know. But if you don't make those connections, if you don't try to talk to people, you'll never know what kind of friendship you could have and what kind of mentorship. There's so much information out there. You just have to put those stereotypes down and be vulnerable and approach people. And I can promise you, there's gonna be 8 out of 10 people out there that's gonna be willing to help. You know, Heck, call me. I love to put people on animals, whether it's deer, ducks, bow fishing, whatever. And I'm not the best hunter in the world, but I'm gonna work harder than anybody you know, especially if you trust me to do that for you. You
Right.
know, um, so you just gotta be vulnerable, man, and try to make those connections, and it's gonna happen. And just have to work hard and don't get caught up with Sitka this and Sitka that and everything people's wearing because I have Sitka. I wear it. But when I started out, buy what you can afford.
Mm-hmm.
It works the same way. The first rifle I could ever afford, I'm s- I still shoot deer with it to this day. The only I bought a rifle years ago, and I bought a used rifle, and I'm still killing deer with it to this day. You
Yeah.
know, um, you just do what you just get what you can afford. Just be out there, be
Mm-hmm.
present. And then once you get to that level, take somebody, show
Yeah.
somebody what you've learned.
Bring
You
somebody
know,
with
bring somebody with you, man. It's we. I take. I've got three kids on my list right now that I'm gonna do everything in my power to put them in front of a deer, starting Saturday. You know, um, I can kill all the deer I want. I shot a doe 2 days ago. You know, so next weekend it's primitive weapon in Area 3. My little cousin, he approached me last year. He said, "Cuz, I want to go hunt." And I said, "Well, get your license, take the hunter safety course, and we'll make it happen." So this summer, he did everything. He did all his prep work. So we're gonna go after this weekend. I won't even bring a gun. It'll be all about him.
you. That's
And
dope.
he was afraid because he was afraid to ask somebody for that. He came up. Let us be vulnerable. He asked the information and he got it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just doing that.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there listening in my area, any area, call, bro. We'll make it happen, dude.
Yeah. I had a kid reach out to me. Well, I was he's a kid, but he's in his 20s. Um, he'd been listening to my podcast and stuff like
I
that.
listen. You're almost as old as me, so he's 20 years old. I just turned 45.
I'm
He's a
I'm 40. I'm
you
almost
40
40.
as a kid.
Yeah. So, so you got about 5 years on me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's in his early 20s, man. He's like 22, 23. But I ended up seeing him because he said he seen my truck and I got my logo on my truck and I'm in the grocery store, man. He approaches me and his mom's with him. He said his mom actually was the first one to come up to him. She's like, "My son wants to talk to you." He's like, "You're the guy from We Do This Too." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Where's your son?" So he comes up, tall guy, man. He's about 6'5". And he said, "Hey man," he said, "I've never been hunting." He said, "But I love your podcast." He said, "I seen your truck outside and I thought it was you." I said, "It's me, man." And to exchange information. So his first hunt that he wants to go on is a rabbit hunt. So I said, "Man, the comes in November 1st." I said, "I'm going." I said, "I'll come pick you up. You can meet me or whatever." And his mom was like, he was scared to come talk to you, because he was scared that you were going to reject him or whatever. I was like, "Ma'am," I said, "I ain't like that." I said, if a kid or whoever has enough balls to come approach me or whatever, I said, I'm a real down to earth person. I said, I love taking people hunting with me, and I love putting people on to the outdoors, whether they're black, white, whatever. I don't care. So he's going with me November 1st whenever we go, man. The smile that popped up on his face, man, like it just makes you feel good, man. And
Yeah,
it was just cool that he recognized me, which was cool. But you can't afraid for somebody to tell you no. You're gonna get, like in this industry, man, especially trying to work with partners and sponsors and whatever, you're gonna get 100 no's before you get that one yes. But once you get that yes, some people's gonna find you. But you just gotta
yeah.
stay true to yourself. Don't try to be nobody you're not. Don't worry about big name brands like you said, Sitka's and the Mossy Oaks. Get what you can afford and get out there. That's all you gotta do.
And just make sure that yes, if you do get a yes, that yes is aligned with your principles.
Right.
Because
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm talking to my guys, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but what are they? Who are they?
Who
We
are
need
they?
to
Yeah.
ask those questions, like, who are they? Are their principles aligned with what we are? You don't want to align yourself with somebody that don't have the same values.
Right.
Not
Absolutely.
all money is good money.
Yeah, right, right,
You
right.
know, so these kids these days, they have to be careful. I mean, there's gonna for the most part, we're gonna take care of them. So they have to be careful, but just ask the question. Get turned down. You're gonna, like you said, you're gonna get turned down. I love saying no. I love saying no. I've got two teenage daughters. I tell them girls no all the time. My
Facts.
favorite word, no.
Yep.
But when they
Yep.
when they get a yes, and like my youngest, she never asks for anything, so she gets a lot of yeses. My oldest, oh man, I tell that little girl no all day long. You know, but when she gets it, that yes means a lot when it comes.
Yeah,
So, and
that's right.
just for those people out there, just when you get that yes, man, respect the people that's taking you. Yes,
Right.
sir. No, sir. Leave the woods cleaner than they were when you found them. If you go to somebody's camp, man, camp etiquette is you better take care of my camp better than you take care of my house. I can promise you, because it's man, camp etiquette goes a long way to getting that return trip. And then
Absolutely. I
you
bet.
know
Yeah.
you've been there, and you see people come in somebody's camp and just ransack it and just leave it the way it's like, man, this cat ain't never coming back.
Hmm.
But man, be respectful to those people that give you those yeses, man, and look out for them. And it'll go a long way. They'll be friends for life.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, man. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you're busy man. So how can people get a hold of you through your social medias if they want to holler at you?
Well, if y'all want to holler at me, our social media, we have Yeah You Outdoors on Instagram and Facebook. My personal social media account for Instagram is Tony Robicheaux on Instagram, and Robichocky. Oh, I'm sorry, I said that all messed up. Tony Robicheaux is Facebook. Robichocky is Instagram. So man, just hit us up there, man. And if y'all in South Louisiana, hit us up, man. We'll love to go out hunting, fishing, bow fishing, whatever y'all need to do, man. We can make it happen, bro.
That's what's up, man. God bless you. Hope he blesses you in multitudes with every desire that you ever want, man. Proud to see you out there in the outdoors doing what you do, man. It's a pleasure and an honor just to see, people like me and you out here doing something positive, man, and not, you know, out here selling dope or, doing something negative, man. It's gonna get us in trouble,
Absolutely.
man. So I think these youth, man, they're gonna have somebody to look up to. I'm doing the best that I can on my end. I know you are for this next generation, man. So I really appreciate you, man. And if you ever need me for anything, my phone line is always open, man. Uh, need anybody to talk to, shoulder to cry on, man. I'm always here for you, brother.
Appreciate it, man. You too, Sam, man. Just look us up, man. If you in town, I'll make a trip to Kentucky. I promise.
Hey, come on. I'm right in the middle of bourbon country.
That's it. Yeah, man.
So
Just hit us up, man. And, I appreciate the opportunity to be on here with you, man. And it was fun. Pleasure. My pleasure.
yep, absolutely, man. This is a wrap, guys. Mr. Tony Robicheaux. Hit him up. Yeah, you outdoors. Uh, be sure to follow him on all social media platforms, man. Make sure to give this episode a like on all platforms that you get your podcast, whether it be Apple, whether it be Google, whether it be Spotify, anything. Leave a review, helps me out, man. But here we go. Big game, small game, all game. We do this too.